So here we have the all-new 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe. This one comes in the SEL trim level in Phantom Black Pearl. And then we have gray H-Tex interior. Our powertrain consists of a 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. That's mated to an 8-speed wet dual-clutch transmission. And so far, just loving the look of these. When I first saw the preview of them, I was kind of not impressed, but even in this lower trim level in person, it looks very nice. But as we come around to the front end here, we do get our LED headlamps along with LED daytime running lights. And I love how they make an H symbol there when the running lights are on. But I mean, just a very nice look, a very futuristic look. Reminds me a lot of the Ioniq 5, just in terms of how it's designed. When we get past the keyless entry on the front two doors, to the door panel here, we do have our electronic child lock and rear window locks, power windows, power door locks, power mirrors, and we do have blind spot monitors as well. It's a little cold out this morning, so excuse my sniffling. I'm gonna pop the hood to get this manual tilt and telescoping steering wheel. And there's the power driver's seat, two-way power lumbar support. And sorry for the glare as well. It's very early in the morning, so. But there's the rear door panel. A big shout out to Hyundai of Cool Springs for allowing me to review this vehicle today. I'll leave a link below in the description. I'm gonna zoom out and we're gonna check out this rear seat room. So I have the seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, 6'3", longer legs, sitting behind myself. Pretty good space, and headroom is immaculate. So pretty impressed overall. Little storage tray here, USB-C charge ports on the back seats on either side. And I do like that we have the seat back pockets on both sides here. And then you can fold down the middle seat. Bottle holders will be right there. And then there's a look at our third row, and there's a space behind. So I just got this one in. I wanted to get it before somebody tried to test drive it or buy it or whatever. So I tried to get as much plastic off as I could. But I'm gonna try and get a close up. I'll try to leave a link, or I'll try to leave the description, in the description, excuse me, the window sticker, but hopefully you all can see all of this here. And then $38,245 is the sticker price, so not bad at all. And even with the 2.5 turbo, we're getting 29 miles per gallon. So far pretty impressed. Now these wheels are 18-inch alloy. I like the look of those. Fuel cap there. And then I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start the vehicle so we can see how it looks with all the lights on. So a nice quiet start up. As we come around to the back end, there's that. And then when I cut the lights are all the way on. There's the high beams there, turn those off there. So when I come back around to the front, I'll be able to see the headlamps and everything, but just a quick look at the back end. And with the glare, it really doesn't do it justice how nice these lights are back here, so I apologize. But here's our space behind the third row, so not a ton, but I can fold this down, and that's how it looks. And I'll just fold it, both of them down, so you can see. When that third row is set down, you have a ton of space, and then you still have seating for 5. But if you do, for whatever reason, need that additional space for 2 more passengers, you're able to do so. And I like that we have rear AC controls right there. It's a nice touch. And then we also have the capability to power release that second row if we want to. Whether you need the storage or if you just want to get back there from the third row, and fold the seats down. And then here, I'm gonna show you how the seat folds flat. You can pull up there, or if you just want access to the third row, push here and it'll slide that seat up. And then to our front passenger seat, manual 6-way. So we can pump the seat up or down, move the seat back and forth, or move the seat bottom back and forth. In the middle here, tons of space, 12 volt. Nice storage pocket here. And then there's our glove compartment, and a very interesting latch there, how we can just push that down. And then we even have an additional storage pocket up here. So that is pretty neat. It's the first time I've seen that. We have 1, 2, 3 areas on the front passenger side where we can put things, whether it's phones, maps, whatever. But back around to the front here, I'm gonna go ahead and just take a quick look under the hood. And again, a 2.5 liter turbo 4-cylinder tucked in there. And there we do have the front end there, light bar there, and then the LEDs, LED daytime running lights on either side. The lights don't flash, that's just how my camera's picking them up. But let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat and check out all of these features. So nice H-Tex wrap steering wheel, feels very nice. Love the horn. Now over here to the screen, I do like how that all goes. It's not necessarily one piece, but it looks very sleek, just one big giant screen here. For audio, we do get AM, FM. We also have XM radio. And on top of that, we have wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto compatibility. So great to see that here. And then to our setup, we can go ahead and change vehicle settings here. And then we have our general settings in here. And if you want to go ahead and change your language, you can do that. If you want to change your units, you can do that here. Now, backup camera, great picture. Guidelines follow you as you turn the steering wheel. I'm actually going to zoom back in here so we can really see how good that picture is. And into the shifter, pull down for reverse, pull up for drive, kind of tap either way, or tap from either way for neutral, and then hit that side button for park. Now down here we have the dual zone automatic climate controls with 3-stage heated front seats, shortcut buttons, hazards there, and then we have our drive modes we can go through here. So we just have normal, sport, and then my drive, and it shows you there in the middle. The auto stop toggle is there. You do have the automatic brake hold, which you can turn on or off there. Hit this button here, it pulls up that camera for you. And then parking sensors, we can toggle there. And down here, USB-C ports, that's a charge port. You can run that for the wired CarPlay, Android Auto if you want to. And then we have wireless charging pad here. 2 bottle holders here. Center console cubby space, decent size, and I love the light back there. And then up here, we can turn our lights on or off. And I like that we have an indicator there, so you know that the lights are on for the cabin without thinking that it's attached to the door or whatever. And then LED light there for the vanity mirror. And then one other thing I want to touch on is we do have the favorites button here. Volume can be turned up or down. You can click there to turn the audio source off, and the tune knob is here. There's a look at the back seat from up here. Gonna zoom back out. Get a full view of all this. Headlamp controls, again, are right here. Auto can be toggled there, off. And then when we're in auto mode, we can toggle the auto high beams. And when we're in the regular low beams, we can turn the high beams on there, turn them off there. And then windshield wiper controls, just regular intermittent, that's one time off, intermittent low, high. We can adjust the intermittent settings here. And then we have a rear wiper, so off, low, high, push back for the rear wiper fluid, pull up for the front wiper fluid. We're gonna test these paddle shifters out on the test drive if I remember, but it is nice to have those there. And then we do get smart cruise here, so we can turn that on or off, set the speed, adjust the gap, lane centering, and then we have this button to go through the sub menus of the gauge cluster, and then we can go through each sub menu when applicable here, and then we can use this as an OK button when we click it there. And then this mode button goes through your audio sources, voice recognition, Bluetooth, our second favorites button. So we have the custom button for the steering wheel, the custom button on the audio system, and then we have the mode button. We can set that up there if you want to just turn on Bluetooth and phone projection and not necessarily have on AM, FM radio if you're not going to be using that. But we can go through our track list or radio station presets here, volume control here. You can click there for mute, which I love. And I believe that's our sensor for the radar, the smart cruise, excuse me, to make sure you're paying attention. And then again, push button start. Finally, the key fob with remote start. But next it's time to take this all new 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe SEL 2.5 Turbo out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this 24 Santa Fe, let me just say I love the new interior. I like the setup with the screen, the climate controls, everything looks very nice. But most importantly, the steering wheel, just the overall feel I get from the driver's seat. This doesn't feel like a $39,000 SUV to me. It feels like an $80,000 SUV, just with how the steering wheel's set up, the shifter is in a cool place, just everything, having the adaptive cruise and all that. It's a nice touch. Hyundai did a fantastic job with this. And I kind of touched on this earlier, but I was a bit skeptical about this new look. As opposed to the outgoing Santa Fe, this was like night and day, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it just because it just had that weird retro look from the Ioniq 5, excuse me. So, like the Ioniq 5, this has grown on me very quickly, and it's one of my favorite SUVs just in terms of the exterior look, just the aesthetics overall. Because again, this looks like something that doesn't ask for just $38,000. This looks like something that's much more exquisite, much more expensive. And just having this powertrain on top of that, it's just very impressive, an impressive overall package you get here. Now the ride quality is almost, I don't want to say identical because it's kind of hard to say that, but it's very, very similar feeling to the outgoing Santa Fe. So you still have that same ride quality where it's not buttery smooth, but it feels good, and this isn't extremely boring to drive. Again, especially with that 2.5 turbo 4-cylinder. So I'm gonna put it in the sport mode, and then we're gonna try out these paddle shifters. And nobody's behind me, so I'm gonna give myself a bit of space. Getting on the interstate here. All right, here we go. Wow. Gonna give one more pull here. Yeah, great power. Not surprised there. I'm gonna put it into normal, and then we're gonna turn on the adaptive cruise, lane centering. And I'm gonna put this gap back a little bit. But just an extremely impressive vehicle from a performance aspect. It's just very quick. And with a front wheel drive model, it really wanted to pull me. So an all-wheel drive variant will probably be even more fun, in my opinion. But coming down the interstate there, ride quality is phenomenal. This is just checking all the boxes as of now. And then the cabin acoustics on top of that were very, very good as well. I could still hear the outside, but it was almost like it was deadening the road noise, if that makes sense. It's just a very, very sophisticated feel here. And it's not what we're used to from the older Santa Fe's. But I think this is a game changer here. I can't wait to see some of the higher trim levels, and then even the bottom trim if there's one lower than the SEL. But with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe SEL.